Hello there everyone, AOC Studios here. Today I'll be reviewing for you Hello There Rex's commissioned exclusive minifigure, The Fallen Survivor, otherwise known as Cal Cestus. Firstly, I'd like to mention that this figure was made through a three-way collab between Brick Daddy Minifigures, Fig Fab Labs, and of course, Hello There Rex. This combo easily makes him one of the best LEGO adaptations of Cal out there. Scratch that. This is the best LEGO adaptation of Cal. The design, printing, part choice, all of it is just incredible. The printing by Fig Fab uses the second best method for LEGO Customs, UV printing. UV uses an ink that is slightly raised off the surface of the figure, giving it a braille-like texture. Still high quality and barely noticeable nonetheless. Though it isn't pad printing like GCC, CAG, and LEGO use, it still has 100% official LEGO parts and an incredible design by Brick Daddy. Speaking of, I should get to actually reviewing the figure. As of writing this script, I haven't actually received the figure yet, so I'll be going off script here to review this. So when I got this Cal, I started freaking out, which I think just goes to show that I was really excited to receive this figure. It's just such a cool figure to finally have in very high quality LEGO form. Obviously we had Firestar Toys Fallen Order version of Cal, but getting this Jedi Survivor one is just super cool. So I got it, and when I first saw it, I'm not even joking you, my breath was taken away. This figure is easily probably the best figure I've seen since GCC's Fox. This is such a good figure. You would think that the UV printing with its texture on the torso and stuff, you would think that would annoy you or just make you feel like it's lower quality. That's what I was kind of thinking too, honestly, but I was completely wrong. I don't care about it at all. This figure is just super well designed, has amazing parts, and obviously the printing itself is amazingly high quality. I cannot stress enough that this figure is just perfect in every way. I will admit it would have been nice if it had dual molded arms, like the ones that have white at the top and then tan at the bottom, but that's a lot to ask for. It already has one dual molded part. Plus, the white arms they don't even look that bad, so I'm not complaining about it. I think this figure is perfect just the way it is. The lightsaber bit being included was not necessary, but I'm very glad that they did do it anyways. I bet so many of us have so many blue lightsabers, so they really didn't need to include one, but super cool that they did. That's pretty much all my thoughts and immediate reaction to the figure, so I'll be going back onto script now. With Rex's marketing and part choices, I don't see how this figure could have been made any better. All these collab figs and new stores popping up throughout the community really make me think about how great it is to be a fan of LEGO Star Wars Customs right now. It seems like almost every day revolutionary custom figures / parts are being introduced, pushing the limits of what we thought was possible. To get an inside look on how these customs are being produced, I secured an interview with not one, not two, but all three of the collaborators. I asked all three of them 4 questions specific to their role in the figure's creation. First off, let's start with the man himself, Hello There Rex. Question 1. What was your motive behind commissioning this figure? I'm new to this side of the LEGO community, the creative video side, and I've met so many people showing me things I never knew were possible. After becoming close friends with Brian at Mayday Figs, I was shown that making your own custom figures is an internally tangible thing. I have a few figures I wanted to make, but I figured breaking out into the custom world with a favorite character no one has really done yet, the Jedi Survivor version of Cal, would be a good start to build a customer base. Question 2. What was the process of getting this figure from idea to physical product? I met up with Brick Daddy working on some other projects, and then I took his unfinished Cal because I thought the figure looked incredible. He then sent me to Fig Fab Labs, who printed the figure up. Great company to work with, fantastic communication, fast turnarounds, they're killing it. Question 3. Do you plan on commissioning or making any other figures in the future? Of course. There are lots of figures in the lineup. Brick Daddy and I now have a partnership, and he's helping me bring all my figure ideas to life. I think you guys will really like the next one. It's a figure I rarely see people do, and I think our version of it came out fantastic. It'll be a premium figure with lots of accessories too. This is definitely a side project. Video making for the channel is still going to be the forefront of my brand. I have a full-time job outside of all this that eats up all of my time, so I do what I can. Question 4. What are some tips you have for anyone who wants to make social media content? All I can say is be yourself. Make content you're inspired to make versus following a trend. If you're not passionate about what you're talking about on YouTube or Instagram, it's not fun, and you're being honest with yourself or your viewers. It becomes a chore to make videos on something you don't care about. My main focus is just having fun with this whole thing. and I'm definitely there. I've made lots of new friends, I've rekindled my love for video production, and it's fun to be on this side of the LEGO community. One thing I really tried to do was incorporate humor into a lot of my videos, because that's pretty important. We all need to laugh every once in a while. That concludes Rex's interview. Next up is the designer, Brick Daddy Minifigures. Question 1. What's your design process? I look at a character and imagine it as Lego, and then draw it using vectors. It's a pretty straightforward process, and I kinda rely on my own eye and intuition to match Lego style. Question 2. What softwares do you use to design your figures? I use a couple of different programs depending on the fig. Adobe Illustrator is the best because it has all of the needed features in one program, but I use a variety of free programs to get all the tools I need without the steep monthly fee. Question 3. Any tips for minifig designers out there? Make sure you're having fun, be patient, Google is always a friend, and keep editing your design until it looks exactly how you imagined it in your head. Sometimes the design takes all day, but that's nothing to be afraid of. Question 4. What got you into designing figures? Totally inspired by Grandpa Cone Customs. Seeing good custom figures in a style that blends seamlessly with the official Lego was a huge inspiration. I realized I had just been waiting for figs like Bale, Ezra, Palpatine, Tubes, and Saw Gerrera, all the while I was fully capable of making them myself. And that concludes Brick Daddy's segment. Finally, we have Fig Fab Labs. Question 1. What is the entire process of making figures? From design, to getting parts, to printing, etc. Basically, we start out with the design process. Here, we would create the artwork in Adobe Illustrator and generally source the Lego parts third-party from Bricklink while we work through the design phase. Once the parts arrive, we move on to the printing stage where we then remove the pre-existing print off the parts, if any, and set up the job for print. Once the print run's complete, we're able to then fully assemble the minifigures and ship them out to customers via USPS. Question 2. What got you into creating custom minifigures? We've been producing custom minifigures for around 6 years now. It started because I always saw a need for a clone trooper that LEGO didn't already have, and as a result, I began using the route that many take when they get into custom minifigures: Sharpies. After much trial and error, I moved on to decals for a short while, until I then started outsourcing printing through other custom minifigure companies until we were able to buy our first printer. Question 3. How does UV printing work? Basically, I always explain UV printers like this. UV printers are essentially just a regular inkjet printer that sprays ink onto the substrate, and as the ink sprays, a UV light passes through and cures or hardens the ink. While regular inkjet printers typically print on paper, UV printers have the ability to print three-dimensional objects like bottles, pens, buttons, cases, and of course, Lego. It's actually a really cool process, and a lot of people think it's as simple as loading a tray and pressing print. Question 4. What are some tips you have for anyone looking to print their own minifigures? My number one advice for someone looking to move into printing their own minifigures would definitely be to have patience. Start with small projects and work your way up to purchasing a printer. They're quite a hefty cost, so it's better to play it safe and make sure you have your bases covered before buying a huge piece of industrial machinery. This concludes Fig Fab's interview. What I took from those interviews was to not be afraid to make your own custom minifigures. It's a lot more possible to do than we think. And with that, I have interviewed all 3 of the collaborators, thus finishing off this video. Before you leave, if you would like to purchase yourself one of these, I linked below Rex's Instagram, along with the other collaborators' accounts. Give them a follow and buy their products to show some support. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
ALC out.